How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at my 1999 Mazda Miata, the NB. I'm going to walk you around it, point out some things, and then we're going to take it on a little drive. Now, this is a great little car. It has been through a lot. That includes being stolen, spray painted black, and then recovered by me. So that's why it looks like this. It originally looked like this. Beautiful, pristine, white, perfect example Miata. Now it's black. In addition to that, I also just took this car on a 6,000 mile road trip across the country. If you want to check out that video, check out this link. Now this is the second generation Miata, powered by the 1.8 4-cylinder, not the 1.6. Come on, this is the big block. Now up front, Miata moved away from the pop-up headlights, which I think was a big mistake, but I think these fixed headlights look pretty good. The front end is very simple. Now up front it has this weird little bump. I always thought this was completely unnecessary because of how small the engine is, but I think technically it fits the throttle body and intake kind of in there, and it's kind of necessary. People in racing will run flat hoods, but I think this is kind of necessary. Now the proportions are classic Miata. It's small, it's simple. Kind of gives it this low, sleek look. The car weighs just about 2,300 pounds, just a little bit over, which makes it super light, super tossable, and really fun to drive, even though it has limited power. Now these wheels are Avanti Storm wheels. The wheels up front were actually taken off and replaced with some junkyard wheels when it was stolen, and it looked terrible, so I had to buy 2 new ones for the front. But I think these wheels look really good, really solid. They're intricate enough to be cool, but not so much that they're in your face kind of ricey stuff. It also has aftermarket Godspeed coilovers. It doesn't make a huge difference in the way this car handles because stock, this car handles phenomenally. I mainly did it to lower the car. I used to have this car slammed to the ground until I realized that was silly, so I raised it up a bit. Now out back, once again, it is very simple. Nothing much going on here. I will mention that this does have an aftermarket catback exhaust that sounds okay. It doesn't have a full exhaust, but this isn't your stock exhaust from the catback. I don't know what brand this catback came from. It was on the car when I got it, and I've never looked under there. It's like some racing spec catback. It's not super crazy, but it gives it a nice growl. Now this trunk is tiny, but it will fit your tools and stuff. On my 6,000 mile road trip, all I did was 1 duffel bag. It fit basically perfectly in there. So if you're traveling light for 1 person, this might not be a good car for 2 people to go across the country, but 1 person, you can fit your stuff in there, no problem. Now let's check out the inside. We're gonna be spending most of your time. Getting in this thing is a bit of a pain. It's low to the ground, and this wheel is huge for some reason. But now that we're in here, it's not so bad. I'm a average height. I'm not a super big guy, but I fit in here with no problem at all. I know some people 6'4", 6'5", who have driven these things. It's gonna be tight, but it's bigger than you would expect. Now, the interior is very simple, and that's one of the reasons I like it. It's just driver focused, not super complex. Analog gauges, it has gas gauge, it has tachometer, it has this oil pressure gauge. Even though it's a gauge, it doesn't really operate like a gauge. It's just on or off, oil pressure or no oil pressure, which is kind of weird, but if you're checking your oil pressure, just make sure you have it and it's not 0. Speedometer, it goes up to 140. I think the top speed on this thing is probably 120 if you're really pushing it. AC controls, very simple. I like how simple this is. I don't like a complex AC control. These AC vents, they wobble quite a bit. They're a little saggy. If you put tape around them right here, you can make them really tight, but now they're a little too tight actually, so I keep this one loose so I can readjust it and point it in different directions. The shifter on this thing is super notchy. I'm not sure if the previous owner installed a short shift kit on this, but it is just so crisp and notchy. You can find every gear. It's actually funny. I have these Japanese characters on here. I don't even know what they mean, but it's really easy to find each gear, even though I have no idea. This might not even be the correct symbols for the gears, but I'm just gonna trust that the person who put this together knew what they were doing. You can see this black and white leather here on the shift boot, on the parking brake. It's over here on the side. This was actually done by the previous owner. and it had this black and white shift knob on it, kind of like an 8-ball shifter that looked really cool. For some reason, when they stole it, they took it off. I guess they sold it. They really wanted to hang on to this car because I think they sold the front 2 wheels, the shift knob. They took the radio out and sold it. They really wanted to keep this car. Now, I'm not a big fan of this big, bulky steering wheel. I'm thinking about going to just like a small, detachable racing steering wheel. But I like that this has the airbag because this car is so small. If I get in an accident, I am gone. But everything else is just so simple, so driver focused. It makes it a great experience and it's not super complicated. I hate complex things. I'm kind of a stupid guy. From the driver's seat, this car looks even smaller than it actually is, which makes it really easy to place it on the road. All right, let's start it up. The roads are wet out here, so I'm not gonna drive crazy. I'm also a terrible driver, so I'm not gonna push it. We're up in the hills here, which is where the Miata shines. Straight roads, this car is slow. It is very slow. There's no denying that. But when you're up in the hills, you can catch up to people. You can beat people in this car because it handles so well. It's about momentum and keeping going, keeping through the turns. I'm not gonna do that. I'm a bad driver. I'm a terrible driver, and if this car was in the hands of an actually good driver, this thing would be a beast, but it's not. Sliding this car is really inconsistent, even for a good driver. It has an open diff, not a lot of power. I don't like kicking the clutch because I just feel bad for it. So I just go momentum based for my little slides. It's not super intuitive, but in the rain, you can kind of get it sideways. That's one of my biggest complaints with this car, is to slide it consistently, you have to beat on it. Beat the clutch, beat the throttle. I don't like doing that to cars. I like V8 cars where you can just kick it and it slides. I don't like pushing this thing to its limits, which is why I don't drive it super fast. I don't drive it super crazy. I just do simple driving. I'm not gonna go crazy on this road because it's wet out, like I said, but I'm gonna give you kind of an idea of how it drives. Nothing crazy. Heel towing is super easy. I added a throttle extension, so the brake and the gas pedal are pretty close together, but if you put this extension on it, you can touch the brake with your entire foot, and then you can just tap the gas super easily. See, the open diff locked up and then I wasn't sliding anymore. I could have kept it going if I kicked the clutch, but I don't like doing that. It gets sideways and then you can't really get it the other way because it just locks up. It's really annoying, but it's probably for the best because if I welded this diff, I would get in a lot of trouble. The next upgrade I kind of want to do is LSD on this thing, but it's hard to find them and I don't think I will. So that's my 1999 Mazda Miata. Super reliable car, pretty fun, great little car to have. I'm mostly using this as a commuter car now because I don't have any other cars to drive from point A to point B. It's a great commuter car, even though it's so small. And you know, I complain about this car being slow, but on my road trip, I was driving this thing. I could get it up to 80. It didn't like it, but I could get it up there. I was going 70 average. It keeps up with traffic. I was passing some people, but overall, super light, super fun. I suggest you get one of these. You probably already have because they're the most popular sports car, if you can even call it a sports car out there. Great car. Thanks for watching. Check out my road trip video in this car so you can see how reliable it is, but that's it for now. Please drive safely.